Okay, hello everyone. In the previous video, we have learned about inheritance. We create a class, let's say a person. We have some constructors, some variable and function, and we create a new class which extend from the person. Okay? So in here, we can retrieve whatever we have in the parents. This is called superclass, parent class, or base class. Whatever inside the parent data variable method constructor we can use in the student class. Child class here when they are not private. Okay, in this case this is private, we cannot use it, but we can allow the what we call the getter and setter method to the child class. So the child class can use this in order to perform some operation on data. Okay? We abstract the data. We don't allow the child class to see our kind of data, but we can ask them to see through the function. So we are going to recall it a bit. The existing class we call superclass, parent class, or base class. To allow our code usability, we create a new class which extends from the existing class. This is called superclass, child class, or div class. Whatever term that you call is fine. We use the extend keyword in order to work with inheritance. Class B extend class A. It means that class B is representing as the child class. Class A is representing as a parent class, what we call superclass. When we refer to our parent class information, we can refer using the super keyword as well. When we are in the class B here and we want to access information in class A to avoid the conflict, for example, class B also contain variable or function that are the same to parent class. So you can access to the variable or method in the parent using the super keyword. A super keyword. This keyword refer to this class. Super refer to its superclass. Okay? If we say super in B, it means it will check what is the parent class of A of B, which is A. So super will check there and then get certain information in methods. So this is the key feature to remember. With inheritance, we can only use those information, including variable, method, constructor, when they are not private. If we declare as private in the parent, we cannot use by child. However, you can allow in parent. We have the public function get and set to access your data private. It is fine. This process is called encapsulation. And we can also create our what we call class diagram in order to represent our class in our code. This is very useful if you're working on a project that contain many class files and you want to explore them, you want to analyze and try to understand your existing project. It is best practice to represent the information into class diagram. You make relationship, how they are related to each other, how are dependent, what information, a method, constructor that it has. Yes, class diagram is come into place where you can draw the class diagram to represent your class. As you can see in the previous video, we talked a little bit about the class diagram. Example, we have the class time here, class name, variable name, constructor, and we have method. So the symbol minus representing the private, while plus representing the public. So you can create information as you like. And just remember, we have variable, constructor, and function. You can also add a note to explain more to your function as well. So in this example, if we create into the code, suppose we have a given class diagram, we can also create into code. For example, in here, the class circle, we have one variable radius, they are private, so you can say private double radius equal 1 because it's set to 1. We have two constructors, circle and circle with one parameter. Yes, you can create this. Basically, constructor is used to set data into our variable. So when you say circle radius double, it means that they're trying to set this data coming into the constructor parameter. We pass it into our variable of the class. And we have the function get radius, set radius. Yeah, they are both publics. You can do that. Get is basically to return our private data, while set is actually to assign some value to our data. When we are trying to update the data, you can do that. Constructor is only set when we create object. We initialize first, and sometime later you may want to change something, right? So we allow the set method to update information on private variable. And we have the function get area, get circumstance. You can add that. One missing method inside the Java code is get circumference. You can also add that. We have the function toString. Basically, in this case, yes, we trying to return information. For example, what is the class name, what information that it has. In this case, we have one variable radius. What is the value? Okay, basically, toString function is very simple. It describes the information of this class. If you have more variable, you can add more, concatenate the strings. Okay. And for example, the account class diagram here, we have three private variables. You can create three private variables. Balance is set to 0, yes to 0. We have two constructors. The first one takes two parameters, the second one takes three. Yes, you can create, represent them. Basically, constructor are just to set data to variable. We have some functions, get ID, get name, so on and so forth. You can do that. And you can also make validation. For example, when you work with the bit methods, the bit is actually to subtract, to withdraw some information from the balance variable. So it means that you also need to check whether the amount to be deposited, to be what we call the bit here, it should be less than balance. For example, you have only 100 US dollar in your balance, and you're trying to debit, let's say 200. It's not possible. So that's why you need to add validation, and also consider on the minus as well. For example, your balance is 100, and then they want to say, okay, minus 150. If you do this formula, you want to subtract, right? So balance equal to balance minus amount. So amount must be positive. If they pass as negative, make sure that you convert into positive. Other way, minus and minus, it become plus. Okay, balance equal to balance plus amount is not right. So just to be careful when you add the validation. Yes, this is an example. For more information, you have the employee class on the right. You have variable name, ID, and salary. Salary create as protected. Yes, protected is also important. You want to create something that can be used by child. You don't want it only yourself, like as private. Yeah, you can make it as protected. Other class cannot use, but child class can use. Okay? And we have a level of package visibility as well, that we used to discuss about before about access modifier. We have inside the same package, outside package, it is a subclass or parent class, something how access modifier can be used, can be set to the variable and functions. Okay? You can recall to that. This is one of the important one. Protected can also be used by child. Okay? Yes, I think this is it for the class diagram. We will give you more one example about how you represent it. For example, we have four classes: parent class, person, student, teacher, and staff. Here they are all child class, and they are inherit from the person. So whatever person have, the student, teacher, and staff should also have. Okay? You have constructor. You have basically four variable, or there are few more methods you can add. And for each class, they have more different functionality depending on your need. Okay. So I'm going to create this for class and make inheritance. So we go to the project here. I'm gonna make something called one more package class diagram. Okay. Class person. Okay. So I'm gonna close my previous program test. Okay. So this is to represent your class from the class diagram. This is, as I mentioned, is important when you work in a project, as it's project or something. Yes, they can analyze the project structure based on the just the picture. We can see what are the relationships, what are the function, what are the constructor and variable that has in each class. Okay. First name, last name, ID, and gender. They are public. You have string, first name, you have last name, we have to call gender, and we have the citizen ID, right? Okay. Police data types, they all are string. Citizen ID, okay. And it has certain constructor, right? As we can see, two constructor. The first one take no parameter, the second one take 4 parameter, and we have two string function. So we have constructor has the name the same to the class, no return type, person string, let's say this is first name, string last name given from parameter, we have gender, we have last one as citizen. Okay. So you can put just a short variable name is okay, A, B, C, D, and then first name is my equal A, last name equal B, so on and so forth. That is fine, but it's not best practice to use different name. So I'm gonna say this first name, say first name here. This class have variable last name, we get the name from our parameter, so on and so forth. This dot citizen. Okay. We have two string functions. There's no return type, right? Yes, we have void here. Okay. Public function. Void to string. Okay. So basically, you display information from this class, right? Okay. This one we call type not compatible object to string. So string method it actually exists in this class. You can override it, right? To string. This is toString method. You can override it. Basically, it should return something. There can be something in here, super return toString or whatever you do it. And then we create more class. We have, let's say, student. We have teacher and staff. Okay. And for each of the class, it extends from the class person, and for student, they have student ID, major, and email. Okay. Extends person. Okay. We have student ID. They are representing as private, as well as the email. Private student's ID. Private string emailed, and we have this call the major public plus is this variable in this one, and we have something else, two constructor. Okay. The first one take no parameter, the second one have 7 parameter. Student. Okay, as student 7 parameter. What are those 7? Why 7? Because person have 4 already. Okay, so student also have 3 more. So it means that together we have 7 constructor that part, and we set to a variable, right? So I'm gonna say to avoid the name is longer. This is first name. This is last name. This is gender. This is what we call. This is an ID. Okay, CID. We have SID. Sorry, it's not string. SID. And we have email. And we have major. Okay. It's quite long, right? So this dot first name equal to f name. Although the name is not the same, yeah, you can still do this with this, okay? Or you can don't use this, it's also fine because this one not the same variable, okay? But basically we try to use the same, but this is to avoid the law parameter. That's why we use f s here to make it shorter. So basically I recommend use this class. We have last name as well, inherit from the person class. We have last name. We have something else. This dot gender equal gender. Okay. This dot citizen ID equals citizen ID. This dot student ID equals ID. This dot emails equal email. And last one, this dot major equal to major given from parameter. Okay, that's it for the constructor. And we have function gets email, get student, set, so on and so forth. Okay, so basically get and set their encapsulation, right? So when you work with set, okay, public void set, it's because this is private, allow them to access email. So it means that email is given from parameter, and then you do something this dot email equal to email, right? Sorry. We have the strings get email. So no parameter. Return type is a string, so I'm gonna return this dot email. Okay? Because they're private, we can allow the other to use it through the public function. Why set student ID? Okay, student ID. This is you can try to camel case get set and then you pass the name of our variable. So we pass the student ID in here. This dot public string L student ID equals student ID. Okay. One more string get student ID. Return this dot student ID. Okay. So in between here you can get some validation, right? Also when we set the email, you can also double check whether the email given is valid before you set to your data. So we can add some more action, right? This is the action that we are the one who control it. So just basically make it something like this to apply get and set method. Add a function to string, so on and so on. Yeah, we can create following that. So that's the same way to the class teacher, staff. We can extend from person, use those variables. We can use this for, and we can also activate the function in the person in here as well. It depends on our need. Okay? So just like this case, we use this variable because it's inherit, right? This class can get it, or you can say super. It's also the same because super is for the parent and parent have this. Okay, you got this, and this is all fine because it inherits to this case. And instead of using this for, you can actually activate your constructor, right? In your parent here person, we have this constructor. Okay, so you just call this constructor with this name, last name, gender, and citizen. So we're gonna say super name, last name, gender, and student citizen ID. This also works. Okay, you don't need to repeat this because these are already given in the parent, right? Okay, so you can also do that. It is fine. So for teacher and student, yeah, you can continue create more based on the level of class data. representation. Person, yes. So I'm gonna leave that to you. You can do that by your own, following this picture where we have student, salary of private, teacher ID, staff, base salary, rate, so on and so forth. So as you can see here, we trying to make this very redundant, right? Get set the same way. So instead of doing this, we can do it by auto generate. Okay. For example, I'm going to delete this. You can go to this part, person, right click on this class and go to source. We have generate here. This is auto generation. And then there's something called, yes, the variable inside this class. Person, we have something. So if we have something to make it get and set, yes, you can do that. Yeah. Gonna leave that. Gonna put it back. This for the student in email. Okay. So suppose that we don't have this, you can generate getter and setter from this, right? So go back, present. This is the student. So we go to student class. Here, right click, source, getter and setter. So this is the variable. Let's say we have private and student. They are private. You can see on the red symbol as well. This is we have get set, auto generation. You can get only one. You can uncheck the box bar. So now we get all of this email and student ID, get set, generate. Okay. As you can see here, the same to what we type, right? Basically, and you can add more functionality now. This is just to auto naming convention. We have get, we have set method. And if we get, we know that we're trying to return something, so no parameter. When we set, it means that we need to pass some data to set to which, to this variable. Okay? So it know in the tool it can do that. The rest I will leave it to you to create the class representing the teacher as well as the staff. You can also work with the auto generate getter and setter for the private variable and teacher salary. Here, yes, get set. Staff, we have base salary and total salary. You can do that using getter and setter. Okay, thank you for your attention.